Hello everyone, it's Laffy Traffy. Chapter 1009 of One Piece is officially out, and this was one hell of a chapter. Chapter 1009 was titled Hell, or Naraku. Naraku? The Buddhist Hell. And we are here to review said chapter in all of its glory. If this is your first time here and you enjoyed this review, or if you just haven't yet, subscribe! You'll be notified of all my future weekly reactions and reviews. I'm also watching Attack on Titan, so check that out. And if you missed my reaction to this chapter, go check that out as well. Also follow me on Twitch and Twitter for more gaming, anime, and One Piece content, if that's what you're into. With that all out of the way though, let's dive into One Piece Chapter 1009, Hell. The chapter immediately hits us with an amazingly drawn standoff between Orochi and the remaining Scabbards. I absolutely loved Orochi's terrified face when he saw Kinemon and all of them. Kinemon! It hit me that they haven't seen each other yet. Orochi knew that the Scabbards had been brought back from the past via Kanjuro's deceitful messages, but they've yet to be face to face in 20 plus years. This is a big moment of confrontation as Orochi laughs at them for not knowing Kanjuro was a traitor, but then grants it to them that they also deceived him with Denjiro. He then turns into his Orochi 8-headed serpent form and thinks that he and Fukurokuju can take 7 of them. I'm impressed just that Orochi is so delusional that he thinks that the 2 of them are stronger than the 7 Scabbards that are standing in front of them. Come on, man. You've never fought your own battles. It was always someone else. He thinks he can take advantage of their wounds from Kaido, but what he doesn't know is they are on a rampage of anger to get their revenge on Kanjuro and save Momonosuke. The absolute rage from Kinemon that we see in that panel was beautiful. I love that they don't even humor Orochi with a conversation, they just immediately dove in and sliced his heads off. No fucking around. He was absolutely wrecked instantly. I don't know how Orochi saw another outcome. Now, this brings me to wondering if Orochi is actually dead. I was the minority in thinking he was dead the first time, I'll admit it, but now I don't think he's dead. Although it would be funny if he was, I think Orochi has some weird Orochi ability to keep respawning. You see 5 heads get cut off for sure in the panel, but he started with 8. But does he have 7 now that Kaido took his head? Does his human head even count? Or is it just that you have to cut off all 8 heads at once? Either way, we don't see more than 5 heads fly, so if there's none hiding off panel, that would still leave Orochi with 3 heads. Or 2 if he lost one from Kaido beheading him earlier. I guess we'll see, as Raizo and Fukurokuju fight. Now that fight, let me tell you, I am excited for. Here, Raizo insults Fukurokuju in the scans, but compliments his loyalty and gains respect for him in the official? 2 very different paths, but we'll just go with the official, I guess. Maybe he was saying it sarcastically. Definitely have the history together for this to be an awesome ninja fight. I'm also loving the dialogue lately, at least in the scans. Most times the official kinda waters it down to not be as raw and real. In this case, the meaning was completely shifted. Like I mentioned in my reaction, I'm really liking how one by one the Scabbards are splitting off to take care of powerful opponents in their way, as they run to Momo and Shinobu. They're getting paired off with good opponents so far, with Inu and Raizo. It's crazy that Act 3 is supposed to be nearing its climax too. We still have a lot of fights to get through. Speaking of fights, now we cut to the rooftop. Big Mom and Hybrid Kaido are playing around, wondering how many of them would survive if they do a combo attack. This is where Kid asks Law why he doesn't just teleport one of them away, and Law replies that their haki is too strong. Now we've all figured this was the case, but it has been officially confirmed here. The question I have then is, how did he teleport Doflamingo around? I'm of the perspective that Law was indeed stronger than Vergo, and that's why he was able to cut him. I mean, as soon as Law had his heart back, he stopped Vergo, let's be honest. Plus, the rage of avenging Coruscant probably boosted him up a bit. But I don't think the same is true for Doflamingo. Doflamingo required extreme attacks from both Law and Luffy to eventually go down. So how did he use his powers on Mingo? I'm thinking maybe there's some threshold to how strong your haki needs to be immune from Law's powers, and it might not necessarily be Law's own threshold. What I mean is, say for example, Law's haki is on level 7, but Law's powers are able to affect you up to a haki level 10. Vergo's haki might have been around 7, higher or lower depending on where you stand on the issue. And then Dofi's might have been a 9, greater than Law's, but still not great enough to not be affected by his powers. And then we have Big Mom and Kaido, which their haki level is level fucking 20 and beyond, and they're just not affected. To be clear, I just threw out random numbers to get my point across. I don't know how Big Mom and Kaido stack up compared to Law and Doflamingo, don't cancel me. Regardless, they cannot be teleported because of their haki, stated by Law himself. I wonder if he tried it in those 10 minutes we skipped earlier, or if he can just sense their power. Which, to mention it again, I really wish we could have seen the time between where Luffy didn't have his haki. Was he still trying to attack? Did the two Yonko here try to take him out while he was down? Did the others then have to protect him? Did Zoro just run around carrying Luffy until he was better? I want to know the details. Oh well. Kaido and Big Mom now pull off a terrifying combo attack called Conquest of the Sea. That's a fitting name. The two of them have some playful back and forth as they're squaring up and getting ready to unleash their attack that literally shakes Onigashima. That panel there kind of looks like it tilts Onigashima, maybe it's just me, but And then our boy, our resident swordsman, the goat of the chapter, challenges this attack and has the balls to stand in its way. And he succeeds. For a moment, but he succeeds. This man held off this attack for long enough that the rest were able to get away. And the attack came so fast they weren't even going to be able to dodge. The reaction time of Zoro being able to make this decision is incredible. I'm not sure if Law teleported all of them away or if he just took himself and Zoro, because you kind of see Kid and Killer running away, but I think it would make more sense for Law to have teleported all of them together. He definitely saved Zoro, just like Zoro definitely saved all of their asses there. I'm not gonna lie, the way Zoro was talking and getting those panels side by side of all the supernova up there reacting to the enormous attack, I was pretty scared for Zoro. I thought maybe he was like sacrificing himself so the rest could get away. I didn't know what was going to happen. I mean, he still did sacrifice himself and is very injured, but he's alive. My god, he's alive. And it's just, I can't say it enough. It's incredible. We honestly haven't seen that much of Zoro. Like, you know, this is a whole conversation, but post-time skip, he hasn't had any big opponents. He fucking defeated Hody underwater. Like, come on, man. And then Pika was just annoying. As soon as he was face to face with him, he obliterated him. Overall, he has not been able to show his true strength. He hasn't really gotten to his limits. Even with him against Killer, like, he was still up and fighting, you know? But, my god, we'll follow his journey till the end, that's for sure. Now, after we see the rubble that is left in the wake of Conquest of the Sea, the supernovas, sans Luffy, regroup as Law's wondering if Zoro's even alive. Just barely. Even Kid shows his respects and thanks Zoro for blocking and buying them enough time. Luffy, meanwhile, goes after Kaido. Kaido dodges Luffy's Red Hawk as Luffy, fucking Luffy, taunts Kaido for being afraid of his attacks. This is just gold, the way Luffy smirks confidently. He's such a little shit and I love it. But in response, Kaido shows off some awesome looking attacks. You can just see, you can just envision the way he's twisting and flying everywhere. I mean, it's safe to say that he can fly, just like in his dragon form. Kaido deals a huge blow directly to Luffy, and unfortunately, we don't see the aftermath of that. No news is good news? Or is this cutaway an implication that Luffy is not in the greatest of states? I mean, how could you after a direct hit from an attack from Kaido himself called
Conqueror of Three Worlds, Ragnaroku?
God. And I noticed something because it's not Three Realms Ragnarok, which is, like the Viking end of times type thing. I don't know everything about the mythos there. And the title is the Buddhist hell Naraku. So I think there's a play on words here. I might be completely wrong, but I thought it could be really cool that Ragnaroku, instead of Ragnarok, it's Ragnaroku, so it's like a double hell. And with Oda always playing around with puns, I think this might be the case, which is really fucking cool. I'm hoping we see Luffy in the next chapter, and he's not too bad. No break, so not too long of a wait. Kaido also looks terrifying when he does that mouth beam attack thing. Now that is hellish. Over to Big Mom's scene. We see some quality teamwork here. Back in the first chapters of seeing the rooftop gang starting the fight, there were a lot of pissing contests and competition between all of them, and they weren't doing fantastic. Now though, as I had said back then, they're finally working together. I don't know when they had time to plan this out. Maybe it was real quick as Luffy was attacking Kaido, and that's, as Kid was making his little metal box. I'm not sure, but it worked flawlessly against Big Mom. Law teleports Zeus into Kid's metal box and away from Big Mom. Then, despite his injuries, Zoro teams up with Killer to attack her other homies, Prometheus and Napoleon. Zoro slashes Prometheus with his flame slice and chops him up so he can't reform. It reminded me of Law's radio knife against Trouble. Fucking Trouble. Killer jumps up and hooks his blade into Napoleon's mouth and disarms Big Mom. That's pretty impressive. He then chases after Napoleon as Napoleon's shouting, "No, leave me alone! Stop! I'm just a normal sword! Nothing to see here! Help!" Big Mom gets mad at her homies for getting separated, and then she cockily attacks Kid. Kudos to Kid, man, for fucking tanking a direct hit in the face from Big Mom, smashing him into the ground. His harpoon-looking things didn't quite work on her iron balloon-looking ass, so he takes all of the metal from the gun on his right hand, as well as his regular metal hand on his left, and shoots her up into the air. This then makes the perfect opening for Law to send a giant boulder her way. She taunts still, saying that they're stupid for throwing boulders at her, and I agreed at that moment. I was like, what are they doing? What's their plan? What's happening? And then we zoom out and see the giant boulder has pushed her off of Onigashima. That is so fucking clever. Law couldn't move her directly, so he shoved her instead. Big Mom is screaming as she's falling from on high and into the ocean. Probably. Maybe. She no longer has any way to fly since they took her homies away from her, so I'm wondering what her game plan is. Can she make homies out of anything? She could possibly grab another cloud on the way down or something and make another Zeus. Probably not one as strong as him, but enough to fly. I also had the thought that the Big Mom pirates have been suspiciously absent throughout the raid. If they had gotten wind of Big Mom being at Onigashima, they might be sailing there right now. And if they're coming from Wano to Onigashima, and Onigashima as a whole is flying towards Wano, it's likely that they'll intercept. It would be a little too convenient, but hey, it would make sense. I can just imagine we cut over to the Queen Mama Shanta, or whatever ship they came on, and they look up and see the island of Onigashima flying overhead, blacking out the sun, or the moon. It is nighttime. And they're like, "What the hell is that? Oh god!" And then they see a small, by comparison, shape falling from it. And as it gets closer, they see their beloved Big Mom as she falls into the water. They'll be able to save her if she lands nearby enough, and whatever happens after that happens. I think no matter what happens, Big Mom is going to be out of this fight for a while. So good for Law and Kid and Killer and Zoro. And even Luffy was almost like working with them because he was distracting Kaido. I doubt that was his intention, but you can still see it like that. Or the whole Big Mom thing, she might immediately save herself and prove just how fruitless their efforts are and get back into the fight. This would just set up the fact, though, that the supernova have to overcome Kaido and Big Mom both and prove just how powerful they are. I'd fuck with that too, honestly. Who knows? Overall, this chapter was amazing. We got a second Orochi beheading scene. I hope he's alive, just so Orochi can run around for the rest of the arc getting killed again and again and again by everyone. That'd be really funny. We also get to see the beginning of an epic ninja battle. Neem! Then the most powerful attack to date, probably, by Big Mom and Kaido combined. Zoro again with such an impressive feat. We have to wonder just how strong this dude is. Comment below what your thoughts about Zoro are at this point. Then Luffy taunts Kaido, and then Zoro and Killer combo attack, and then Law and Kid combo attack. Seemingly they take out Big Mom out of the fight. Amazing. And with that, that concludes my review for 1009. We will not have to wait long for 1010 this week, so subscribe and you'll catch my reaction come this Friday. Again, follow me over on Twitch and Twitter if you're interested in more One Piece, anime, and gaming content. And I hope you enjoyed this chapter as much as I did. Have a great day, follow your dreams, and check me next time. Bye!